Have you ever had one of these batteries just refuse to charge? Well, you can revive them. In fact, you can revive most batteries. Pretty much any battery you can revive to a certain extent, but it's a bit tricky and a little bit dangerous when you're doing it with lipos. Lithium ion, less dangerous, easy to do. Nickel metal hydrate, completely safe, and easy to do. NiCad, again, well, NiCad unusual really, because most of the time the NiCad one ain't going to come back, but you can always try. So if you've got one of these nickel metal hydrates, a lipo I'll talk about in a minute, lithium ion I'll talk about in a minute. Nickel metal hydrate, you've left it for some time and it's gone flat. It's gone below its nominal voltage, and the charger you've got, you might have one of these intelligent chargers and it won't, it just won't charge it. It just says either open circuit. If it says open circuit, that could mean that one of the cells is just too low and the charger thinks that there's an open circuit, but it's just that one of the cells is too low to be detected. It could say voltage low and it won't charge. Anyway, whatever it says, it won't charge. So what you can do is you can get either another battery which is charged up, or a car battery, 12 volts. It doesn't matter if it's 7.2 volt battery. It doesn't matter if what you've got is a 6 volt battery. 12 volts is fine. You don't really want much more than 12. You can get a car battery or any other battery which has got electric in it, as long as, well, it will work if the voltage of the spare battery is less than the one you're trying to jump. But if you've got more, you'll jam a bit in there and it'll just be better all around. So all you have to do, get your test leads or any piece of wire. It doesn't have to be fancy leads with little crocodile clips on them. Any wire, connect them to the battery and connect them obviously to the correct terminals, positive and positive, negative and negative, and just do it for, I don't know, 30 20 30 seconds to start with, because what's happening is this battery is then jamming electric inside these cells, not at any regulated rate, so you can't really charge the battery that way. Well, you could do, I suppose, if you left it there it would charge, but it wouldn't do this battery a lot of good because it's just kind of random. But it would work, but there's no circuitry to regulate the charging between cells. So while it would work, and I have done it in the past, I'm not recommending that you do, if you care about your battery, that is. Anyway, 20 seconds has passed. Now get your charger, plug it in quick, press go. Hopefully it'll start to take over charging that battery. Now, a tip from me and my experience is set your charger to a low charge rate, to a low amps. Now, if I've got a battery like that, I tend to set it really, really low, say 0.2 milliamps, really low. It'll take days to charge at that rate, but if you set it at say 0.2 milliamps, it's going to put a very little bit of charge in the battery. Two reasons why that's quite a good idea. One, it just helps to take over and the charger's less likely to detect any issues because it's only putting a little bit of electric in. But the other reason is if you've got a battery which is heavily depleted, meaning it's really exhausted, there's nothing left in it, if you try to jam a load of electric straight in it, it's going to damage the cells. It's not going to do it a lot of good. But if you just drip feed it, you know, like when a person's unwell in hospital, they might have something wrong with their stomach, for example, and they've just had no food inside them, blah, blah, blah. They don't just say to that patient, right, eat some food and give them a pie to eat, do they? They put them on a drip, and they drip feed them liquid food into their stomach, little bits at a time, to get their stomach back up and running again. Same thing with a battery. If it's heavily depleted and it's unwell, you just drip feed pieces of electric into it and it'll help it recover. It'll recover better, so it's more chance of it actually being a good battery afterwards, but it'll also recover faster. So you have to remember, charging any battery fast does damage it. I don't care what anybody says about, oh, this battery is able to be fast charged. Charging a battery damages the cells. Charging a depleted battery fast will damage it more so. So, yeah, stick a little bit in it. After maybe, if it does take over, after maybe an hour of charging at 0.2 milliamps, you can stop the charge and you can increase it to, I don't know, whatever your battery is capable of, but maybe 500 milliamps or maybe even an amp, depending on if the battery is capable of being charged at an amp, but that's for you to work out, not for me. You can up the charge rate, start charging and see what happens. Usually, if it starts to charge and lasts a whole hour, or maybe half an hour even, on a really low rate, that's a good sign, and it will take over a charge on a higher amperage after a certain amount of time, and that's a good sign for that battery. I've got batteries which were completely dead. The charger, no charger I had, would take it. It just kept saying open circuit, voltage low, whatever. I've done this method, charged it very, very slowly afterwards, and they're going bloody strong, just like brand new. So it does depend on how long the battery's been completely flat for, all the chemistry inside, the chemicals, everything happening, whether it's died out or not. You'll just have to find that out by trying to charge it up. So that's nickel metal hydrate. Now, with a LiPo battery, you do have to be careful with LiPo batteries, because they're quite a lot more volatile. Mustn't get those two words mixed up because they mean two completely different things. They're a lot more volatile than a nickel metal hydrate battery. It's quite seldom that a nickel metal hydrate battery will randomly explode and burst into flames. Not unheard of, but rare. Lithium ion, less rare, but it's in the middle. LiPo, it can. If those cells are damaged enough, that damage doesn't have to be physical damage. It can be inside. So if it's gone completely flat, each cell has gone below its voltage that it's set, that it's capable of, 4.1 volts, or somewhere around there anyway. If it's gone below that, that could be internal damage, and by trying to charge it, you could set off a bit of a reaction. I'm not saying it will, and I've revived many LiPos with the methods that I'm going to tell you, but just be wary, because they are dangerous. I think it's crazy, to be fair, that they even exist and people have them in their homes, cars, bedrooms, living rooms, garages. I think it's mad. But I'm one of them, so I can't really talk. I'm a bit of a hypocrite. But you got a LiPo, so there's a couple of things you can do. Your LiPo won't take a charge. Your charger just keeps saying voltage low, and it won't start charging your LiPo battery. You can set the charger to nickel metal hydrate mode and set it on a charge at a low amperage for, say, 30 seconds. We'll start off short times, low amperages. 30 seconds, nickel metal hydrate. Give it 30 seconds and then stop the charge. Quickly flick over to LiPo mode, press charge. Obviously have your balance cable plugged in as well. It might take over because it will charge it on nickel metal hydrate mode, and it may jam enough electricities in the battery for the charger then to register there's enough voltage in each cell and to carry on charging as a LiPo. Sometimes it may not work. If your charger is more intelligent than its own good, if you've got one of these fancy dancy chargers, it may not take over. So you can do the method I've just told you about with the car battery. This isn't, well, maybe you decide whether it's safe or not. It's up to you. Batteries can explode when charged incorrectly. But I've done this many times with LiPos. Put them on a car battery, zap some electric in them, stick them on a charger, LiPo mode, and they've worked. And I used them for a while. So, it's up to you to decide whether it's a good idea or not. But I'm just telling you what you can do. So there we go. Hopefully that's helped you out and given you a little bit of an idea, because I've had a lot of messages this summer asking me about receiver batteries and other batteries. You know, they've gone dead over the winter and I can't get them to charge. What can I do? I don't want to buy a new battery because this one was new in the summer and I've only used it twice and now it's gone dead over the winter. Bit of advice: through the winter, depending where you live, if you live in a very cold climate, Canada, America, wherever it may be, even in England it does go cold enough to damage some batteries, take them indoors. I don't like to keep LiPo batteries in my house personally, and I would never recommend you do. In fact, I'd just recommend don't have any LiPos. Nevertheless, keep batteries at room temperature, about 18, 19, 20 degrees. Keep them indoors through the winter so that they don't get too cold and don't freeze. And also, keep them roughly halfway charged, but every couple of months stick them on a charger, put them on a cycle. If your charger's got cycle mode, discharge all the way, charge up all the way, discharge all the way, and it just keeps the chemistry, keeps the battery going. Batteries don't like being fully charged all the time because it just depletes them. If they're flat all the time, it depletes them, it damages them. If they're halfway, it's better for them. But to be used is even better than not being used at all, and that goes for most batteries. Obviously some batteries are designed in a different way. For example, car batteries. These car batteries, they're designed to be constantly charged and constantly full up. They're lead acid, and well, there are lithium ion car batteries nowadays as well. But because they're on a car where the alternator is constantly charging all the time, it's constantly getting 14 or 13.8 volts. Well, it should be more than 13, it should be about 14 volts going in. They're designed to be constantly charging and constantly charged up. If a car battery like this one goes low too often, it would damage it. It's not designed to be discharged and charged, it's designed to be fully charged all the time. But that doesn't go for these types of batteries, or LiPos, or any other ones. Deep cycle batteries, etc, etc. We could talk quite some time about batteries. I'm here just to tell you how to revive your RC batteries, and I think I've done that in a fairly effective way. If you agree with that, comment, tell me, did it work for you? Do you use the same methods? Have you just tried it and you're trying it now maybe? I don't know. Tell me what you think about the methods I've just told you. Equally, if you think I'm an idiot and what I've told you is completely wrong, please tell me as well. I'd like to know what you think. And also, if you've got any questions about RC cars, not so much electric ones, I specialise in nitro and petrol, but I may be able to help with any RC car, you never know. And if I can't help, other people that read the comments may be able to. So if you comment on this video or any other video with your questions, then we can all read them and help you out. It's the best way to do it. I'll catch you on the next one. There's a bumblebee buzzing around and I thought it was a person. How weird is that? I was thinking, who the hell's over there? I'll see you later on. Take care. All the best.